1766, first visitors came to Hot Springs, Virginia to bathe in the healing waters. Shortly after that, the structure was erected to house them, and it was the start of the Homestead, what is regarded America's first resort. Now, modern additions, the Omni Homestead Resort is one of the grand hotels in all of America, accompanied by some of the greatest golf, including the famous Cascades Course that held the 1988 United States Amateur Championship. We're going to tell you all about the grandeur of the Homestead in Hot Springs, Virginia, on this latest episode of The Traveling Golfer.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf smart.
Drive for show, but putt for dough. Hi, this is Jim Straka, inventor of the Straka line. Straka line is used by touring pros and top college players every week. Now you can get Straka line for your home course. For just $1,500, Straka line will come to your facility and laser scan each green on your course. We will collect 2 million data points per green. Imagine, you will finally be able to read your putts accurately. Go to strakaline.com to schedule your course today.
Imagine a golf ball with the grip of a tire. Well, that's what you get with Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Because the new Contact Force dimple uses contact science technology similar to Bridgestone's high-performance tires. Engineered to create 38% more contact at impact. For more distance and control, try Bridgestone's new E12 Contact. Straight distance driven by science.
Literally going back to the late 1700s, people have been coming up here to escape. I mean, whether it was the original waters that brought them here, but even over the last couple hundred years, it's in the mountains, it's a tranquil environment. You just, you naturally relax when you get up here.
Mark Spadoni, Managing Director of the Omni Homestead Resort. That just sounds so good.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for over 40 years and had some great assignments literally that took me to all corners of this country. And I had this opportunity, for a capstone assignment, to be able to take the Omni Homestead back to its glory. And, I'm really, really excited about being here.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, listen, it's nice to move around the country, but it's great to go to heaven at the end.
Absolutely. At least one step closer to heaven.
Yeah. It is a very special property, and I think people who have never been here don't understand that it's not just a resort, it's not just great golf, but it's an atmosphere, and you step into it when you come here and it never leaves you.
I think that one of the things that has made it special has been the fact that we've honored the past, but we recognize the past is just part of the overall story. So as you walk through the property here, you literally have photographs that go back hundreds of years. But we also recognize that the modern conveniences that the travelers are looking for are here as well too. And I think that the thing that attracted so much to me when I was looking at coming here was the fact that none of the amenities are afterthoughts. They're all part of the overall experience. They're woven together to create what I really believe is the Homestead experience.
Well, speaking of the amenities, those hot springs are still a very vital part of it and part of your amazing spa experience here.
And that is one of the unique things about the property. You know, a lot of areas where they have hot springs, they're not actually incorporated into the spa experience. You know, in some other resorts, you know, they've recreated that aspect of it. But here we still have the natural hot springs that are running through it. You know, down at the spa in the Tranquility Garden, you know, we have one of our major pools there is literally the same waters that's been running, you know, through this area for hundreds and hundreds of years.
One of the things I like to do when I come here is hang out in the places where the presidents hung out. 23 of them.
Yeah, it's amazing. You think about it, the history to go in there and see those oil paintings of all those presidents, you know, going back from Jefferson in 1908, William Howard Taft was here, actually was the keynote speaker at a conference of lawyers and rushed to get off of that conference to be able to go out and play golf on the old course.
I like that. And unlike a lot of other resorts around the country, 4 seasons here.
Yeah, and that's special too. We even have our own ski resort here. We've got our own lift. We've got a wonderful lodge that's here. It's pretty special to be able to provide an experience 4 seasons a year.
And of course, the resort took a big step up with the addition of golf, actually in the late 1800s.
Exactly.
With the old course, and which has changed over the years, and of course was redesigned by Donald Ross.
Right. Yep, which is obviously one of the perennial architects, you know, of his time. You know, with over 400 golf courses that he's built, you know, over his lifetime. And you know, again, to have that history is something that's great. You know, and obviously the Cascades Course is by every means as good a golf course too.
One of William Flynn's masterpieces, and a reason that a lot of people come here, and then they say, wait, I get everything else with it too. It's an experience. Of course, I always look at it as a golf resort, but the Homestead really is a family resort.
Absolutely. Generations of families have been coming here for hundreds of years.
Mark Spadoni, he has majored in hospitality all of his life, and I think he sort of got his crowning degree here at the Homestead. I know you're used to hearing from Dave Glod, president, founder of Tour Edge Golf. This time, instead of him tooting his own horn, I thought I would, since I got my brand new set of Tour Edge
C721 golf clubs.
the newest, latest, and greatest from Tour Edge, with the most amount of high-tech research and development ever put in a golf club. And when it comes to new clubs, everyone wants to talk about the driver. The new C721 driver is worth talking about. Put it in my bag, went to my club, hit it 3 times on the range, went off the first tee, hit my drive, and realized that I was 15 yards further than I ever have been on that hole, and it was into the wind. The new C721 driver has improved feel and sound, and that sound improves your confidence. The more you use it, the more you hit it. For me, the big story with the new C721 line of clubs, the irons. I went with the E721 clubs, an iron that's better for my game, a very special club. Most people will be playing the C721s, but this E721 has all of the bells and whistles to give me better performance, distance, and especially feel with these irons. They feel like the finest forged clubs you can buy. That's because of the new VibraCore center. Trust me, this new set of clubs from Tour Edge is the best set of golf clubs I have ever owned.
VibraCore?
VibraCore.
VibraCore. That's pretty cool.
It's injected? It's injected.
VibraCore, I feel the vibe. I'm feeling it.
So what is it?
The best feeling and longest times you'll ever hit.
Is that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer.
You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
GM employee program participants with a current eligible Buick lease, get this low mileage lease on this 2021 Buick Encore GX Preferred for $159 per month for 24 months.
It screams. It tracks. It's soft. It reacts. It is the Bridgestone Tour B with a game-changing reactive cover designed to spring faster off your driver and stick longer to your wedges. Try Bridgestone's Tour Bs, the Tour Ball reinvented.
Mark Fry, Director of Golf at the Cascades and this entire magnificent Homestead Resort. Mark, I guess you're a little bit new to this hot springs area?
Well, not exactly, Tony. I grew up about 1.5 miles from here and drove by this golf course every day of my life on the school bus. So saying I have a passion for this place is a mild understatement.
So much history. I mean, it's just got to make you feel like you're living a part of golf history every day you come to work. There's a plaque on the property talking about the history. None other than Hall of Famer Sam Snead. His famous line, you can play the Cascades, you can play anywhere. He spent a little bit of time here in the Cascades.
Yeah, he did. You know, Sam, his home was, and he's buried about 1.5 miles from here. So he spent a lot of time here, and there was some confusion. People often thought he was from West Virginia because of his association with the Greenbrier, but his heart and soul was here in Bath County.
His lore in this area is amazing, and of course, come in here, you ride right on Sam Snead Highway.
You do, and you know what's kind of unique, Sam was one of the first golf professionals here, but this county, which has about 4,200 people in population, has produced over 45 golf professionals out of this small county. This was originally a watercress farm. The course was built in 1923. There were several architects that looked at building this golf course, and because it was so mountainous and the terrain was so uneven, they declined in taking on the venture.
Well, the great William Flynn didn't get his reputation by taking on easy projects.
Over our shoulder is the Cascade Stream, which is basically a spring that comes out of the mountain here just behind the 18th green. And amazingly enough, that thing never loses volume. We could be in the drought of summer and that stream still flows at full capacity. So this is where the Cascades got its name. That's the Cascade Stream.
I'm sure it comes as no surprise. The traveling golfer has spent a lot of time in 19th holes. This one here, Rubino's, upstairs at the Cascades, one of the coolest in the entire country. There is another golf course on the property. It's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. The old course, which is the resort course, is unique in its own standpoint. For one, it has 6 par 5s, 6 par 4s, and 6 par 3s. So you don't see that very often. And it's a course designed by Donald Ross, which was a somewhat famous designer as well in his time. So there's a lot of crown greens on the front. It's a very short track, but it's very customer friendly. It's kind of our resort We do a lot of our outings over there and whatnot. And it doesn't have the fame of the Cascades course, but condition-wise and playability and just the toughness around the greens is still a fantastic course.
And it does have fame in one regard. It's been around a while.
It sure does, Tony. It has the oldest first tee still in continuous use in the United States, 1892.
Just a great compliment to the Cascades and the entire Homestead Resort. One of the prettiest par 3s on the old course, number 5, 148 yards downhill. You know, I always wanted to make a hole-in-one on camera. Maybe this time. Oh, get there, get there. Just missed. There'll be another time. Such an amazing golf course. William Flynn, of course, made so many great courses across the country. This, his pure mountain golf course, and it's a bear.
Yeah, it plays very tough. It's a it's a par 70. It's not a real long golf course, only about 6,700 yards. This golf course finishes par 3, par 5, par 5, par 3. And as I said, 2 of those par 3s are 200 yards, so the par 5s are easier to play than the par 3s coming in.
Barry Ryder, famous for 2 things. Number 1, head golf professional at the Cascades, and number 2, the Ryder Cup named after him.
I only wish.
Okay, famous for one thing at least. Barry, this is the most beautiful office I've ever seen anybody work in. You're a lucky man.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and work here for so long. I've actually been here 37 years, so I've spent most of my childhood and most of my life here.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to play golf in the mountains, except that sometimes you need one leg longer than the other.
Well, that's very true, Tony. I had the pleasure to play other golf courses, and one of the things about these mountain courses is you can amaze other people in other places when you can hit draws and fades, because you grew up doing that from these uneven lies. So I think playing a mountain course definitely makes you a better ball striker because of the uneven lies that you have. The biggest challenge of this golf course is obviously the par 3s. We have 5 par 3s, 4 of which are over 200 yards.
We talked about the par 3 holes at the Cascades. This one, number 15. It's the number 14 handicap hole on the course. An easy one, right? How about 220 yards from the white tees? Barry, show me the way.
Yes, sir.
How pure is that?
Just like that.
All right, we'll give it a try. Barry hit one of those flat-looking irons. I'm not accustomed to those clubs. We'll give it a try with a hybrid. All right, we'll see what happens.
Wow, great shot. Great shot.
All right, Barry, make this birdie. Oh, yeah! This lousy par doesn't mean anything after that. Of course, the other part of it is trying to putt these greens, and there are just so many factors that come in, even on these small greens, when you're trying to putt them.
Yes. So it's very amazing that the course was built in 1923, and at that time they didn't have all the technology of making flat greens, so they do have some undulation to them, but the majority of the putts, if they look straight, they are straight. So it's amazing that a lot of people play here and they come off and say, gosh, I just overread everything. The majority of the greens that have break in them are typically back to front.
Putting in the mountains can definitely be a challenge. There's an old adage, everything breaks away from the mountain. What do you do when you're surrounded by mountains? You use the Strakaline Green Reading Guide to give you a little extra knowledge on how to play these incredible putts and avoid the 3-putt. Not bad. Well, from the spectacular mountains to these beautiful streams that go all through it, to the trees and a bit of nature that pops out all over the place. Cascades has a special part in my heart, not as special as you who've been here 36 years. Great to get your reflections on this golf course.
Are you challenged reading putts? Jim Straka here, inventor of the Strakaline. Strakaline greens guides are used by touring pros and top college players. Whether you're playing your home course or traveling to a great resort, you can buy a greens guide for the course from Strakaline.com. With the greens guide, use the arrows for approach shots to make sure you keep the ball below the hole. Once you are on the green, use the arrows to understand how the ball will roll to the hole. Go to Strakaline.com today to buy a guide for your course.
GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this 2021 Acadia SLE for $189 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
Within Omni Hotels, we take our food and beverage extremely serious, and the beauty about Omni is each property you go to, you're invited into the local flair.
Well, I'm in one of my favorite spots in the entire Homestead Resort, the wine room. Could you guess it? We're with Kyle Fellner, Director of Food and Beverage. And Kyle, there is no food without beverage in my mind. This is a very exceptional room, and you have tables in here, able to have dinner in here too?
Absolutely, it's one of our new private dining options here at the resort.
And this is only one of the many dining options at the Homestead. But give us a little rundown.
Currently, right now, we have Woody's, which is at the start of our old golf course here at the property, named after one of our fantastic long-term associates. Great Italian cuisine over there. We have our craft pizza oven over there as well. We have our main dining room, which we're excited to have open for breakfast daily. We started our breakfast buffet as well, so we're excited to offer that. And then we have Jefferson's, our flagship restaurant, offering lunch and dinner each day. Great seafood, local fare, all local trout, lamb from local vendors here in the Allegheny area.
And then of course there's the little shops and markets where there's little food things and the ice cream and the coffees, all those things that keep people from feeling too hungry throughout the day. I can say that throughout the many years that I have visited the Homestead, I've had wonderful, wonderful dining experiences here, and they continue, and I hope that they do so long into the future. It's all part of the total experience of the Omni Homestead Resort. Getting suited for the job. Welcome to Cooking with the Traveling Golfer, and really with Todd Owen, Executive Chef at the Omni Homestead Resort. What are we making today?
Today we're doing a take on a caprese salad. It's something everybody knows. We're gonna add a couple twists to it, adding some watermelon, adding some different sauces to it, and really just kind of brightening it up.
All right, I'm ready, let's go.
You ready? First thing, tomatoes, right? Gotta have your tomatoes. So I like to leave our tomatoes a little bit on the chunky side. We're also gonna add a little pesto, and then I'm gonna tweak it a little bit with a red pepper romesco. Just gonna go ahead and give this a couple splatters on the plate. And this is a nice pesto that we have as well.
Stand-up tomatoes, I like that.
Yeah, it adds that little extra height to it. Next, we're gonna go with our burrata, right? Burrata, the king of mozzarella.
So you don't cut it, you break it.
I break it apart. I think if you're cutting it, you're gonna get it on your knife and you're gonna waste the good stuff. So, and we don't wanna do that, right? One other thing, watermelon. And these are those sweet bits that we're gonna mix into our salad. Now the important part, we gotta garnish with some of this basil.
So there we have it. Homestead caprese salad from Chef Todd, right here on the Traveling Golfer. There are times when the arrival at the 18th green on a golf course is a relief. That's just the way golf is. When you arrive at number 18 at the Cascades Course, the Omni Homestead Resort, there's a tear in your eye because you know that one of the great golf experiences in all of America has come to an end. And so is our show from the Homestead. What a wonderful return to this property that I knew pretty well back in the late 80s, early 90s. We want to thank everybody on the Homestead staff for their hospitality. And we just tell you, viewers of the Traveling Golfer, put this on your bucket list. It's a must play. The best mountain golf course in all of America.
Golf apparel provided by Swing Dish and Covell, official sponsors for the Traveling Golfer.
Tour Edge is the official equipment sponsor of the Traveling Golfer.